What is going on, dudes? This is VaporTheGamer, and welcome back to another FNAF reaction. So, this actually came out in March, and it just popped up on my recommended page like yesterday, and I thought I would use it in a video because it kind of interests me a little bit. So this video is done by HykoRev, small channel, but this is a very in-depth kind of look at our boy Springtrap, and this video is titled Why Springtrap is the Pinnacle of Character Design in Horror. For me, I think it's so cool the fact that his soul lives on still, but his body is just like destroyed. It could be just broken down, you know, rotting, but he still lives. And it just looks so cool how it intertwines with his animatronic suit. I would like to know more about this, so let's just get into it. So everything will be in link in the description down below so you can check everything out for yourself. Obviously, along with HykoRev's channel, please go subscribe if you enjoy this, and if he has any more things that you would like me to check out, let me know in the comments. So I'm gonna click play on this bad boy. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Warning, this video is about FNAF, so it contains flashing lights, loud noises, and jump scares. Why do we got the PlayStation 2 intro song thing music? That was awesome.
Back in 2014, a little game developer by the name of Scott Cawthon would release a game known as Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
An indie horror game that you guys suggested en masse, and I saw that Yummy played it. And if you've been on social media lately, you may have seen that FNAF is making the rounds again.
I rewatched Markiplier's video so many times.
The franchise has seen a resurgence in the mainstream media through its new game, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And while Security Breach is good and all, that's not what I'm here to talk about today.
Compared to the originals, not really.
Today we're going to be winding the clock back to early 2015 when Scott Cawthon released the third installment in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
3 games in 2 years.
Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
He needs to make another one of these.
Now, specifically, I want to talk about this guy right here, Springtrap, also known as the man behind the slaughter, William Afton. Okay, listen, I'm not qualified at all to talk about the FNAF lore, so I'm not going to delve into it that much because, God, is it a mess. But obviously, I've got to talk about some stuff just to clear it up for the people who are unaware. William Afton, this guy, is basically the main antagonist of FNAF. Why? Well, TLDR, he murdered a bunch of kids and then stuffed them into animatronic suits, and now the souls of the victims that are possessing said animatronic suits are out to kill you. So how did Afton go from purple guy to Springtrap? Well, one night Afton decided to go back and destroy the possessed animatronic suits to get rid of the evidence. In doing so, the victims, once freed, decided to do a little tomfoolery and basically just corner Afton in a back room and terrorize him. Afton then decided to put on an old Spring Bonnie suit in a bid to fight back, and as the old saying goes, a fuck around and find out. Afton did find out that the old Springlock suits that sit in back rooms unmaintained for years aren't usually safe to operate. And as the victims he once murdered watch him bleed out on the floor from his horrific injuries, he remembered that he had the power of Remnant on his side as well, which gave him immortality. Now, you may be asking,
that's the PlayStation 1 music.
All you need to
I
know
love
is
it.
that it's the reason that Afton is alive and why there are animatronics possessed by
throwbacks,
dead children.
man.
TLDR, it's soul power. After Afton was presumed dead, the back room was sealed up and left to rot. The year is 2023, and the events of FNAF 3 are about to take place.
Yes.
Now, seeing as their company is caked in the blood of supposedly dead children, Fazbear Entertainment decided to open up a horror attraction called Fazbear Frights, based on the rumors of their past locations. But before they could open it up, they needed a hook, something that people could come in and be immersed into the attraction. And eventually, they would find something.
Coolest, honestly, one of my favorite games, FNAF 3, for sure.
Hey man, okay, I have some awesome news for you. We found one. A real one.
In their search to find a vintage animatronic, they came across this guy, who's definitely a normal animatronic, nothing suspicious about him at all. Needless to say, maybe this wasn't the best of their ideas. So, after letting Springtrap roam the building for 6 nights, terrorizing the security guard, Fazbear's Fright burned to the ground in what was definitely electrical fire, and definitely not arson. And it definitely killed Afton for good. Oh, for fuck's sake. Listen, I'm not going to talk about Scraptrap because, frankly, I don't want to, and his design is horrendous. Painted ass-looking motherfucker. So I think this is a great time to just move on to the main subject of the video. Why Springtrap is the pinnacle of character design in FNAF.
But Hyko, the title says in horror.
Yeah, I know, it's called clickbait. Listen, there is no way in hell I can make a case for Springtrap being better than the likes of Jason Voorhees or the Xenomorph, but could I make a case for him being the best in FNAF? You're goddamn right I could. Let's start with the man behind the suit, or should I say, the Slaughter. William Afton as an antagonist.
Don't play the music.
It's pretty decent.
It's a great song and all.
Mass murderer that stuffs dead children into animatronics and then builds animatronics specifically to kill children. He's managed to cheat death God knows how many times, and he's purple, so bonus points there. Here's the thing, on visual design alone, I'd actually have to give the Pinnacle of Design title to the Nightmare animatronics.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. They don't really have any personality, and that's what makes Springtrap tower over every other character in this series. Like I said, William Afton is a psycho mass murderer, and now with the added fact that he's a decaying zombie bunny animatronic, it makes Springtrap the most ominous and terrifying character in the series. The way he lurks around the dark and decrepit environment of FNAF 3 is just amazing. Well, except for... God damn it, Scott. But hey, you can only get so far in life with personality. So let's talk about visual design. First, let's start with the not so great parts of this design. What the fuck is this? Listen, I know at this point it's pretty common knowledge in the FNAF community that Scott Cawthon is not the best at modeling humans. But come on, ankle guts, ankle guts, ankle guts. Like, realistically, the entirety of William Afton's body would have decomposed, possibly including some of the bones. So why is there still leftover tissue? You know, I guess I can't really complain that much considering the abomination unto thy Lord thy God that is Scraptrap exists, and the fact that with the suit over it, this corpse design doesn't look too bad. Now with that,
no, with the suit, yeah, it looks great.
Why visually
it's like
this design is amazing.
His guts went to his legs.
Is a unique and quintessential of a man-machine amalgamation in horror. Even though he is technically a human fused with robot parts, he just doesn't fit the definition of a cyborg. All the benefits that he once had of smooth and fluid human-like movement are gone, as he now mechanically trudges around. And I think the scariest part about Springtrap is that even though everything that made him physically human is decayed, he seems too alive, too animated, too human, and that's terrifying. Every other animatronic that is possessed by a spirit in this series just seems lifeless and uncanny, while Springtrap is just so alive that he goes from being uncanny to downright horrifying. I mean, you can look at a picture of Springtrap and there's just something immediately off-putting about him, something that distinctly separates him from every other character in this franchise. It's no wonder that there has been an absolutely monumental push to get him added to Dead by Daylight, as he's an amazing slasher.
That would be so cool.
It'd be so cool. The design of the rotted and decrepit Spring bodysuit itself is
I would play it. I bought
Dead
by Daylight for this reason, but
dead body rotting and fermenting in it, covered in blood, piss, and other bodily fluids. Its once bright golden fur is now a moldy green, frayed wires and decomposing flesh exposed through its decaying exterior. Everything about Springtrap, from the rotting corpse inside to the rotting suit outside, combines to make one amazing murderous man-machine amalgamation.
It's a lot of words there, you said.
Now, when you have a character like William Afton that's been silent for a good majority of the FNAF franchise, fans will take it into their own hands to interpret
the funny part
character
about
how
these
they want. And
things
boy,
that
have they
he's showing from J
Springtrap
Cinema
in
is
every
not J
goddamn
Cinema.
way.
The animators.
Some better
Who are the
than
animators?
others. But you see, that's what I want to talk
There we
about.
go,
Because
TMO.
I think that when it comes to fan interpretation, that's where the character of Springtrap really thrives. Now, you might be saying,
Springtrap's only a good and well-made character because people have made him a good and well-made character.
and, well, yes, but also no. See, here's the thing. Most people's artistic interpretation of Springtrap remain loyal to the character. First, let's look at what, in my opinion, is the best real-life interpretation of Springtrap. Enter Regular Sauce, an incredibly talented cosplayer that has put together some of the best cosplays I've ever seen. And if you've been around the FNAF TikTok or YouTube space recently, you're probably familiar with his Springtrap cosplay. And I shit you not, his Springtrap cosplay is
Freddy
the
one
sole
is
reason
amazing.
I got back into FNAF recently because holy shit, it's good. Like, the attention to detail in the suit is just jaw-dropping, and the way he gets into character slowly and methodically trotting around like the actual Springtrap is amazing. Also, it's fucking hilarious watching him actually scare people, and I can't wait to see what he does next with Springtrap. Now, moving from the real world to the world of animation, let's talk about J-Gems.
J-Gems, yes!
Is an incredible animator, and his work is genuinely amazing. The highlight of it all is the interviewed series, which began with an interview with Springtrap. And the series has now spiraled into this insane story that takes a big turn away from the traditional FNAF lore. And in that case, I guess I should give a small summary of it. Now, before I say anything more, I highly suggest you pause this video and go watch all of the interviewed series. It's not that long, and I promise you won't regret it. So let's begin with these guys, the Gems. They're kind of like a private military organization thingy. We really don't know a lot about them other than they want to catch Springtrap. The problem is, so do all the animatronics, for obvious reasons. So the animatronics hatch a plan. Since the Gems have Springtrap, the animatronics basically decide to just turn themselves into Gems for an interrogation. They then cut the power to the facility, murder the interrogators, yoink Springtrap, and get the hell out of there. Except Bonnie decides he doesn't want to kill Good Bloke over here because they've come to the realization that they're both after Springtrap. Good Bloke and Bonnie make a deal so that the animatronics and Gems can hopefully work together. Hijinks ensues. Now that is a very, very, very brief summary of the whole series up to the Remnant trials, and I probably missed or got a few things wrong. But I'm not here to talk about the interviewed series as a whole. No, I'm here to talk about Springtrap in the interviewed series. Voiced by J. Gems himself at first, up to an interview with Bonnie again, and then by the very talented Joder Love from Ventilation Altercation Short onwards, Springtrap in the series goes from being this menacing, powerful, re-embodied mass murderer to a frail old man who just gets tossed around by the animatronics. But the character is not lost on this. I genuinely do not have the words to describe how amazing Love's performance is. He perfectly captures the psychotic and twisted nature of William Afton. It's incredible.
They don't know what they're playing with. No. We're here to kill you and end everything once and for all.
I've heard that before.
Moving on from J Gems, there's no way I could make a video on Springtrap and talk about interpretation without mentioning Springtrap and Delia. Springtrap and Delia was a fan-made comic series made by Grey Wolf Quinn and famously dubbed by Sans Comic TV. Now, usually when people write or play the character as Springtrap, he's usually a psychotic mass murderer. But Springtrap and Delia takes a more interesting approach. Instead, Springtrap was a psychotic mass murderer, but is now trying to better himself as a quote-unquote person, yet he's still haunted by the events of his past. Now, I'm going to stop right there for a second and ask that if you haven't seen Springtrap and Delia yet, that you immediately go and check it out because it is genuinely amazing. I've linked the dub down in the description. Go watch it. Now back to what I was saying. The writing for Springtrap's character in Springtrap Delia is wow. There are moments in the series like the nightmare sequence and the dark ending where the writing goes back to Springtrap's dark roots, and in the case of the dark ending, it's so good it's actually uncomfortable to watch. Like, without spoiling too much, the good ending is sad while the dark ending is just straight up uncomfortable to watch, and that's amazing. Now, I could talk on about Springtrap and Delia for hours, but I don't want to spoil it too much for those who haven't watched it because it is definitely worth your time. Springtrap, William Afton, Purple Guy, Peepaw Willie, whatever you want to call him.
I love that one.
Springtrap is one of, if not the best characters in FNAF.
That was the hottest dogs
video.
video.
Slasher type character fits his decaying and decrepit appearance so well, and no matter which way you look at him, his design, his character, everything about him is horrifying and incredible. And after all that, I still don't get why people simp for him.
Oh, it was Daco's video, but I think the hottest dog like animated it. I remember now. Oh, I love it so much. It was amazing.
You know, sometimes the suit still goes off by itself.
Shawty's like a melody.
Okay, a good thing I stayed to the end. That's actually so funny. I've seen so many memes of people recreating that for their own, and it's just hilarious. I love it so much. Okay, so that was quite the video. I really enjoyed the way he described it and the things he talked about. Yes, Springtrap without a suit is absolutely the most weirdest thing. Like, yeah, why does he have so many guts down to his ankles? But hey, maybe Not just only because the suit style, it kind of exposes all that, so you need to fill it in with some other things. You could just use bone, you could just use like animatronic, but maybe, just hear me out, maybe his guts kind of fell down, okay, and they started intertwining like they were with everything else, and they just got to his ankles. I don't know. Dude, your intestines, like, they're so freaking long. It could work. But anyways, it's so true. I think Springtrap is got one of the best character models, the best backstory, the voice actors that go along with it. Even the actual voice actor for in the in-game is really good. Like, I would love to see more on him. Like, I feel like they kind of slashed him a little bit in Security Breach, and they could have done so much more. So much more. I just really hope when they introduce another game, which I know they probably will, they still have so much stuff in the making. I don't know if they're still doing the Into Madness, which is technically like the next Click Team installment, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I need another like point and click style FNAF game. We need to go back to the roots. You know, I need it. It's so much more scarier. I'm not a fan of the free roam FNAF. I'm not. I really am not. But I love. They need more of this. And that was a great video. I really enjoyed that. Well, guys, that was a video done by HykoRev, and that was titled "Why Springtrap is the Pinnacle of Character Design in Horror." Technically, he's the pinnacle of character design in FNAF, like they said, not in horror. There's so many other crazy characters out there, but hey, it's really cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and if you agree on some things that were talked about in the video, and if you have anything you want to talk about in the comments, let me know. Also, everything will be linked in the description down below, so you can check everything out for yourself, obviously along with HykoRev's channel. Please go subscribe if you enjoyed that video. So like it if you enjoyed, subscribe for some more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. So, bye!